innovative content, global audience.
The beautiful Wednesday here in the Federal Capital Territory, and we're reaching you live from our SRO TV studio here in Abuja. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and my name is Princess KESSY, and today, viewers, I have with me on the show a very beautiful face.
I am Blessing AKAN.
How was your night, Blessing?
Good morning, Princess. Fine, thank you. And yours?
Fine, we thank God. We can't complain. We're still here, we're still kicking. No matter the first subsidy removal, the issues will survive.
God is faithful.
Yes. Nigeria have a way of always going through hardship. Somehow people just complain, it's difficult, we can't survive, but somehow we find ourselves still surviving, still living. That is a very special thing about we Nigerians the people. Yes.
We are stronger than our friends.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Okay, we had a lot of trending issues this morning, viewers. A lot. People are still kicking. A lot of people are still angry that NLC today was supposed to be the nationwide shutdown, but as we saw yesterday that move has been reversed by the courts, and a lot of people are frowning at that. We'll see more of that. And just before we continue with, we'll go to our newspaper reviews. We're going to bring in a guest later, one of the officials from the trade union, to see what's happening. Maybe they will give us more updates as to why they had to back down
on the strike.
Yes, but we'll continue. We'll go quickly to the reviews. Now, these are some of the headlines coming from the national dailies this morning. I'm going to kickstart with the Daily Sun, and the big headline here says, NAS leadership, Akpabio's bid faces hiccups as senators-elect withdraw supports. And the rider says APC diaspora rallies support for Orji Kalu. APC governors endorse Abbas Kalu. Allow lawmakers to choose their leaders, NEF. All the stories are on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Senate approves presidential request to appoint 20 special advisors on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also have a story here that says fuel subsidy removal should be implemented with palliatives in place, says the B on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says medical dental practitioners back Labour's decision on removal. That story as well is on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also have a story here that says INEC clears Ozodima server orders for November poll. And that story is on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Reps declare Nigerian Air launch fraud, says prosecution of promoters. Now that story is on page 2 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says court dismisses suit against Tinubu's inauguration. That story is on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says INEC denying us access to sensitive documents. Now, this is coming from Atiku, PDP, as they say this to Tribunal on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says discloses plan to summon top INEC officials. As well, the story is on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also saw a story here that says OT terminates revenue collection, suspend bank payments from unauthorized channels in Abia. Now that story is on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. These are all the stories we have coming from Daily Sun this morning. Blessing, I think I like this story here that says, something about politicians, they cannot be trusted.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Politicians, they are here, they are there, and they are here. But it's just a case of the more you look,
the less
you see.
Yes, you're right.
That is from this NAS leadership, the part also. This is what I've seen from there. Now look at this main headline here that says NAS leadership, Akpabio's bid faces hiccups as senators-elect withdraw support. APC diaspora rallies support for Orji Kalu. APC governors endorse Abbas Kalu. Allow lawmakers to choose their leaders. NEF. I thought Ababi was already there with what we've been seeing from the news, the headlines so far. So I thought he already. I'm even shocked that these people can really move really quick. They can switch really quick. And don't forget that they have been meeting with the president. To me, not my marshal, I won't say anything, but Tinubu is indeed a Jagaban, and it's not somebody you want to do your baby politics with. Yeah. And I know he met with Wike as well. I can't wait to see the details of that report, of that meeting.
Yes, I think this NAS leadership, I don't know. To me, I feel the political party should not have influence on their leadership because the lawmakers should be able to select their own leaders.
But you know this issue of godfatherism, you know this issue of anointed candidates. That is what is playing at leadership at the mass leadership right now. And funny enough, the way everybody was hovering around Akpabio, so everybody thought, okay, Akpabio was already there, and now today I'm seeing something that Akpabio's bid faces hiccups as senators-elect withdraw support. Politicians, he cannot be trusted. Don't put your hope in those people. They can leave you really quick and they just move away.
It's not right because, like, we have three arms of government, and regardless of our different political parties, I think the lawmakers should be allowed to select their leaders. But in Nigeria, it seems the executive arm of government have influence in the legislature.
That is what we're saying, and that is what is playing out.
That's right.
That is what is even playing out. But anyway, we'll see how that is a developing story. We'll see more of it. Tomorrow you can still hear, I'm not saying that they've moved again. They keep moving until we have the leaders seated. And then there's a story here also that says reps declare Nigerian air launch fraud, seeks prosecution of promoters. Now that story has been trending since yesterday. Twitter was agog. A lot of issues surrounding Nigerian air. I used to think they are one of our, I don't know, I used to think they are the cheapest, or people they were really having a lot of customers. But I don't know, I need to see the details of that story. And then also we saw a story here that's a court dismissing suit against Tinubu's inauguration. What are you expecting? The man is already a president. So what do you want to do at this point? Tribunal issues, election issues, fine, but is inauguration that has been done? Is it done deal? Why are we still here? That's why the case was dismissed, I guess. And also a story here coming from Peter Obi, that says first subsidy removal should be implemented with palliatives in place. I really do hope that the Nigerians will get some kind of relief or palliative. Or moving forward, they should just say 5 days of the week holiday, because that's the only way Nigerians can survive. They can work 3 days a week. Let everybody go home. Because no matter how much you pay them at this point, I don't think it will still cover up for the expenses we are going to. We're talking about transportation, the cost of food, and food prices. The hike is really much. And then a lot of stories here as well, but we move quickly to the next newspaper we have.
Okay, we have the leadership newspaper, and our first story, subsidy removal, Tinubu will mitigate hardship, labor assures Nigeria. And the writer said, explains suspension of planned strike, decries abuse of ex-party motion by courts as Air Peace slams NLC. TUC with 1.7 billion suits over flight disruption. Again, we have the Senate rejects controversial water bill. That is in page 6. Tribunal, INEC objects to OB exhibit from 17 states. That story is on page 23. And again, we have reps disapprove of Nigerian air, asks federal government to halt operation. That is in page 7. And we have the Nadiko to Tinubu, don't forget our struggle for equity justice. That is in page 7. INEC approved final list of Bayelsa Kogi Imo governorship candidates. President needs smooth takeoff, says Wike. That story is on page 10. And all the stories is on leadership newspaper. I'm done.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I saw a story here as well that says a story here coming from labor.
Okay.
I don't know what to make of the organized labor. I don't know what is going on with the organized labor, but I think something is not right. Now, Tinubu will mitigate. Tinubu, well, okay, the main
The main
headline
headline,
says
yeah.
subsidy remover. Tinubu will mitigate hardship, labor assures Nigerians. Now, explained suspension of planned strike. I don't understand why labor is talking from both sides of their mouth. Just some days ago, it was another story, and within 6 hours, a lot of water went down the bridge. And today they are telling us another thing. I don't understand what's going on with labor, but really we see
like
to the end of that.
Labor assured Nigerians that Tinubu will mitigate hardship, and the same labor is going on suspending strike.
Yes. So I don't understand labor. I don't understand where they are. They should tell us exactly where they are standing, in or out, so we know exactly how to address them or how to throw our questions to them. And I saw a story here that says President needs moat take off. This is coming from Wike. I don't know if it's when Wike is not the how do you call it? Is it mouthpiece of the president? But I need to. I just like that man. I can't.
Wike is everywhere.
He's everywhere. That is the word.
To be involved in everything. Like he wants his voice to be heard. Who's stopping Tinubu from having a smooth takeoff?
I don't know. Maybe we are the heat we're giving him on the subsidy removal. Wike is not trying to pacify us. I don't know since when they are not pals or what.
They are friends.
Wike, politicians, I said it earlier, they cannot be trusted. The more you look, the less you see. This is the thing with and I like this call as well from Nedako to Tinubu. Don't forget our struggle for equity and justice. Yes, that should be the order of the day. And then we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have this morning with us.
Okay.
And that will be coming from the Vanguard newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The big story here says why we shoved planned nationwide strike, and this is coming from NLC and TUC. The writer says NLC cites mood, stability of nation after general elections, accuses industrial courts of working against workers' interests. We shoved a strike because government accepted all our demands, TUC. Reps ask FG to implement resolutions. Now, all the stories on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. We also saw a story here that says INEC publishes final list of candidates for Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa, Guba polls. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says a Senate approves Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says Peter Obi, court admits word result from Lagos, Kogi, Sokoto, 14 other states on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Daily Times ex-editor Peter Pan Enaro for burial in UK today, and that story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that says Air Nigeria unveiling a gimmick. This is coming from the Senate, and that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Atiku accuses INEC of blocking access to documents despite paying 6 million naira. Now, that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says World Bank, Nigeria's economic growth too slow to rescue poverty. That story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from the Vanguard this morning. I saw a story here that says coming from the World Bank this morning that says Nigeria's economic growth too slow to rescue poverty. Yes, that is what we're thinking, and that's the more reason we should not even keep borrowing but at the same time, we can't suffer for the mistake of a few people. They've been crying that the subsidy money, the budget is revolving around few hands. Those people had the money. You people, the big people know what they did with that money, so they won't suffer the whole masses because of this.
Honest.
And then I saw a story here. Atiku accuses INEC of blocking access to documents despite paying 6 million naira. I don't understand why they are paying. I thought the court is you bring your evidence and the case is open. Why are they paying money to have access to document? Is that what they do in the court? Anyway, maybe I need a legal practitioner to tell me that on the show. And then there's this Nigerian Air. I think that story is quite big, because Senate, House of Rep, everybody, they've been crying since yesterday that unveiling is a gimmick. They should see to the end of that. And as well, there's a story here as well that says INEC publishes final list of candidates for Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa governor poll. We can't wait to see that.
We are waiting.
Yes. Now, these are all the stories. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
Okay, we have the National Star newspaper, and we have here Nigerian Air is a scam. MD tells NAS, and the writer says Buhari holds striker cane Nigeria with Features Airline. We use chartered aircraft to unveil Nigerian Air logo. Reps declare launch a fraud. That is on page 4. We have NCC issues license to 25 new MBN operators. That story is on page 13. And we also have EFCC arraigned 2 bankers, others for using customer SIM card to steal 20 million. That story is on page 19. Court dismisses FCT resident suit against Tinubu. The story is on page 2. And we have Akpabio faces stiff opposition as more lawmakers elect withdraw support. The story is on page 18. Outcry as Benue government okays launch of Fulani security outfits. That story is on page 17. Senate rejects controversial water bill. The story is on page 18. And again, we have court summons Emefiele over 53 million Paris Club debt refund. Nigerian owes 812.2 million of 2.27 billion airline block funds. The story is on page 16. INEC released final list of candidates for Bayelsa Imo Kogi Goba election. The story is on page 11. All the stories are from the National Star newspapers this morning.
Wow, quite a lot of stories there. And I don't understand. EFCC arrests 2 bankers, others for using customer SIM card to steal 20 million. If we can't trust the bankers which we give our money to, who do we trust then? This is really sad. And I feel so sorry for Akpabio at this moment, but Akpabio, that is politics.
Yes, I feel so bad.
Yes, I love the way the NAS leadership talks, so the power is going right now. I can't wait to see more of that. That is politics. And we saw here outcry as Benue government okays launch of Fulani security outfits. I don't understand. You people accusing the Fulani headsmen, and now you want to bring them as okay. That is a thing too. There's a saying. I'm not saying anything, but there's a saying that once you know there is you're suspecting a particular person on something,
yes,
that is always taking your stuff. You have to keep the thing in their possession, because the thing will not be safer with them. But I don't know how this will go, but I know the outcry. I understand the people, their pains, and of course, that is why they are crying. I really do feel for them. And then there's another story here I saw that says I saw a story here that says court summons Emefiele over $53 million Paris Club debt reform. Emefiele that man, I don't know what to say on this interview. Powerful, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, we're waiting for. I'm still looking. I don't want to say anything for now. And there's a story here that says court dismisses FCT resident suit against Tinubu. Please, like Wike said, the man needs a smooth kickstart. Please, we should leave him first. Let him sit there and just eat the first.
Tinubu is just everywhere.
I don't understand. Everybody is taking the man to court.
A president, like they should allow him.
Yes, I know the tribunal also will decide. The tribunal will decide, but before then, let's try and leave him to do what he needs to do. And then there's a story here as well. I'm going to go quickly to the next newspaper, and that is This Day newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from This Day newspaper. Okay. The main headline here says NLC, why we suspended planned nationwide strike over subsidy. And the rider says accuses FG of weaponizing expert injunctions against workers. KPMG report predict 30% inflation rate, 6 cautioning measures, advises FG to implement Oransaya's reports. NESG advises government to mobilize public support via citizen education. All the stories are on page 10 of This Day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says that this is coming from Peter Obi, petrol subsidy and organized crime. And that story is on page 11 of This Day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Nedako congratulates Tinubu 6 return to federal system. That story is on page 5 and 10 of This Day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says state assemblies inaugurate new speakers, others elected. That story is on page 10 of This Day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Senate grants Tinubu's request to appoint 20 special advisors. And that story is on page 11 of This Day newspaper. Of course, you could see Bitare visit President Tinubu. You could see the picture there telling that story. And we know right now, because of the power tussle coming from the NAS, the National Assembly, there's been a lot of closed-door meetings, a lot of visiting, private visiting, a lot of moving up and down. We know how that thing works, but we are praying as a Nigerian. The only thing we have to say is that we have the best leaders people that have the interest of the people at heart. Peter Obi is not even coming down, as we can see that he has been saying subsidy, petrol subsidies and organized crime. We'll see how the subsidy thing, like we said, we can't stop talking about it, is a developing and of course a topical issue. And state assemblies inaugurate new speakers, others elected. We do hope that the states will concentrate on the people there. You've been elected, stay in the states, work in the states, stop flying up and down. Especially stop coming to Abuja. We don't have space for you people here. Stay in your state. These people need
that's where they belong. The people need your leadership. They need your presence.
They need what you can do to restore, to salvage the whole situation we're having. So focus on the states. Meanwhile, congratulations to them. Viewers, don't go anywhere. This is Wake Up Nigeria. We're still on the newspaper review. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camboy Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Okay, it's so exciting. The game's been dark, but I'm igniting. Positive flow, I'm so.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camboy Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation, and lots more. Don't be told.
From that quick break, this is Wake Up Nigeria. We're still on the newspaper review. Yes, I'm going to continue with the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories making waves. And the big headline here says, artisans, business owners accuse NLC, TUC of selling out. The writer says CSOs knock unions, wants other Nigerians covered. Why we suspended strike, labor, fear of business looms. Man, civil society leaders, activists go ahead with mass protest. Now, all these stories are on page 4 and 26 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says, drama as Nasarawa Assembly gets 2 speakers. That is quite funny. And that story is on page 11 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story here that says food crisis looms, farmers tell Tinubu. And that story is on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. There's a story here that says UI professor shot dead in Ibadan. Sad one. That story is on page 2 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Presidential Tribunal adjourns over INEC's failure to supply PDP materials. And that story is on page 18 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says reps declared Nigerian air launch fraud, wants officials involved prosecuted. And that story is on page 19 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says IFC supports BUA with $500 million facility to boost Sokoto plant. And that story is on page 38 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from the Daily Trust this morning. I saw a story here. Artisans, business owners accuse NLC, TUC of selling out. And the writer says, CSOs, knock unions, want other Nigerians covered. Why we suspended strike labor, fear of business looms. This is coming from Man. Civil society leaders, activists to go ahead with mass protests. I knew that I know that this suspension, strike suspension, of course, and we're still going to see more to that because I know people were really gearing up for that
Strike.
shutdown.
Oh, yes.
They felt that's the only way we can these people can listen to us, to them, and then we saw TUC and
Suspending the
LSC backing out, and now Nigerians are accusing them of selling out. I've seen that yesterday. A lot of people said whatever happened in that 6-hour closed door meeting, whatever it is, they don't know, but that is a total show of shame to Nigerians. That is what they've been saying, because they felt that the last hope they had was with Labour. They were so banking on them. They were so hoping that protest we just turn things around, maybe just a little bit for everybody. But
yes.
I think their hearts of people were broken. People
So
were
broken.
Yes.
I can see people, even when I was coming to work, people are just talking about the suspension of the strike. People are angry because this transportation is so high and they don't know how long they are going to endure this.
Endure that. So I think Nigerians are not very happy with the organized labor right now. They feel like of course, they have compromised. That is the word.
Yes.
And there is a story here I saw that said drama as Nasarawa Assembly gets 2 speakers. Who does that? Anyway, we're familiar with such things in Nigeria. We saw that from which other state the other time? Is it Taraba? So it's familiar with us here. This is a show of shame from our politicians and their especially the party.
Yes.
I don't know what's wrong with these are parties. I just think that at this point, Nigerians really do not care about what they do in the House Assembly, State Assembly, or the National Assembly, because a lot of people will still tell you it boils down to their interest, not the interest of the masses.
No. It's their own interest and political party interest.
Yes. And then there's a story here that says food crisis looms, farmers tell Tinubu. Of course, we've been seeing that there is a surge, there is a hike in price over time.
Of course, yes.
Tomatoes is so expensive as we speak. Have you gone to buy tomatoes recently?
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
Palm oil, even onions, like so expensive in the market right now.
Very expensive. And UI professor shot dead in Ibadan. Sad one. Now, these are the stories we have, all the stories from the Daily Trust newspaper. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be
the Punch newspaper, and we have on our headline here, subsidy. Reps demand NNPCL audits over unaccounted 2 trillion assets. And the writer said some NNPCL subsidiary bought crude oil without evidence of payments. Lawmakers. Legislator OPS back refineries privatization. Uber boat drivers begin nationwide strike.
This story to be funny.
This story
we don't need this, please. It's too much already.
It's too much already. I mean,
anyway, we should even go on strike because I don't know what I'm going to pay. The other day we're trying to book a ride from here to Gudu, and we're seeing 4,000 something. How much am I earning for crying out loud? We know, but I don't even think that a lot of people are even using ride right now. Everybody is on the normal thing. You go on the highway and stand and look for a taxi. That is even more. It's still expensive.
It's still expensive.
But this is going to take a toll on Nigerians.
Honestly,
I know a lot of people, like I know my friend, a doctor friend of mine, she told me she has never entered the long thing, the taxi thing is not working. She's using just a ride. Oh. And that if anything like this happen, that means she won't go to work, or she will pack her things and go and stay at the hospital. You have to pick a struggle, and that is what I told her. Oh, this is not really on a serious note. We don't need this right now.
We don't need this right now. I mean, at this point, we don't need this at all. And we have here House alleges fraud, asks Tinubu to suspend Nigerian Air. This story is on page 19. And 51 just to for Kogi Bayelsa Imo government seats. This story is on page 29. Finally, Senate throws out Buhari's controversial water bill, and the story is on page 3 of the Punch newspaper. Again, anti-inauguration lawyer finds 20 million faces NBA probes. This story you can see on page 8. And Obasari elected speaker as Sanwo Olu inaugurates Lagos Assembly. This story is on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Police investigates assassination of UI professor. This story is on page 4. Journalism icon, ex-Daily Times editor Enahoro for UK burial today. This story is on page 29, and all the stories are on the Punch newspaper today. I mean, this House alleges fraud asks Tinubu to suspend Nigerian Air. Like, if Nigerian Air is suspended totally, how?
Yes, we have other airline. If something is not right, the launching was a fraud. Like they said, I saw a story here that the aircraft bearing the Nigerian Air logo was chartered from Ethiopia Air. Nigerians, I don't understand why these people they won't stop. They won't stop. So you come and launch something with so much millions, billions of naira, and the thing is not even yours. It was a borrowed, chartered aircraft. Then you now came and brand it Nigerian logo just to deceive the people. So I think everybody involved should actually be prosecuted.
Yes.
And of course, there's a story here as well that says police investigate assassination of UI professor. They should do that as a matter of urgency.
Honestly, they
yes.
should. So sad.
Yes, they should do that. And I saw a story here that says reps demands NNPC audits over unaccounted 2 trillion naira assets. And the writer says some NNPCS subsidiaries bought crude oil without evidence of payments. Lawmakers, this country, the structures are not working.
Honestly, nothing is working.
The structures and the institutions are not working. If they are working, we won't be seeing news like this.
Why can't they just do things right? Why
you bought crude oil without evidence of payments? Please, a lot of things, and there's a story here as well that says 51 Jeto for Kogi Bayelsa Imo governor seats. We can't see, we're waiting for that. We can't see how that goes. And then our viewers, I'm going to go on a quick break. I will still come back to the reviews, but it's time to bring in my guest. And maybe after that, if there's time, we'll continue with the reviews, but go on a quick break. And when we return, we'll be coming back with my guest on the show today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SR TV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com. and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and Tap Tap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Feelings, the boy. Okay, it's so exciting.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industrial icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jetplay, and many more. Dates, 17th to 25th July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE50AY.
That quick break, like I did promise that I have a guest for you this morning. I am here with my guest via call, Mr. Chukwuma. Comrade Chukwuma is a senior journalist, a trade unionist, and of course, he is a political analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ed, and good morning, viewers.
How are you today?
Thank God we are doing fine.
Okay, you need to be audible so we can get to hear you very well.
Okay, is it better?
Yes, much better. So, Comrade Chukwuma, what is going on with the organized labor? Today we hear strike, tomorrow we hear suspension. What is happening?
We have put our acts together. You know, this time is a very sensitive time for our democracy, and we must act patriotic, not for any other people, because first, Nigeria needs to be one, and secondly, we also have to support it with the interest of the working class, the welfare of the mass, which will let all the actions of the organized labor, and especially our leaders.
Now,
Nothing has gone wrong yet.
okay.
It's still on course. And we assure Nigerians that they will not be disappointed.
Okay, Mr. Chukwuma, we saw also you are saying that this is in the best interest of the people, especially the workers. But I think Nigeria bets to disagree on that, because we saw on the news today one of the headline. In fact, the major headline on Daily Trust says subsidy remover, artisans, business owners accuses NLC. Can you hear us?
I think
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yes, the major headline, the big story coming from the Daily Trust this morning says, subsidy remover, artisans, business owners accused NLC TUC of selling out. Now, what's your take on this?
It's most unfortunate. That is always what it looks like on the surface, but the issues are deeper than the surface issues. There are salient issues that the leadership takes into cognizance before taking any decision. Recall there was a NEC before the National Executive Council meeting, before this strike was reached, and they were also consulted before it went up. So people's opinions have been sampled from across the country and across the state councils. The Nigerian Labour Congress alone has about 54 affiliate unions, and the 36 state council and the FCT. So the reach is broad, and that is why it is very important to take cognizance into the sensitivity of the nation before embarking on any nationwide action. So, and we commend our leaders for being thoughtful, for taking this decision and making it at the best interest of Nigerians. Yes, temporarily, we have all agreed that Nigerians would face some difficulties because of the fuel issues. But the truth is, for now, we know all Nigerians are together in the fact that the subsidy regime has exploited us collectively, have given few elites the opportunity to go under our commonwealth, and for us it is not acceptable. Our agitation is there should be cushioning effect, because we know that the majority of Nigerians will suffer from that immediate action because of the sudden removal of subsidy. So that is what the NLC and TUC have been agitating for. But at this point in time, when it is very sensitive for our nation, people are looking for opportunity to disrupt the system. We would not give into anything that will make Nigeria not be as united as we are praying it should be. Building on the successes we have achieved after the election, when people felt that the elections were not properly conducted the way we were promised. So those issues are what the organized labor is looking at, and we are looking at the bigger picture, not just the immediate cries for now, for which we are also part of, and we wish we were at the time, the country was at the time when we could tell our leaders that those decisions were not the best to have been taken at this time. But unfortunately, it's not so, and our leaders have identified those factors, and they have agreed to
suspend the strike. Now, Mr. Chukuma, Comrade Chukuma, a lot of Nigerians also have the opinion that strike is supposed to be the last resort, the last action. So it's as if the unions, the organized labor, did not properly exhausted their options before coming out to say, just after days after the subsidy removal, to say we're going on strike, thereby causing either tension or raising the hopes of Nigerians very high. And now they go back to negotiation, suspending the strike, which Nigerians are not finding very funny
at all.
Recall that the organized labor have been in negotiations for a very long time with the previous government, and we did not agree to the abrupt removal. Why this action was initially proposed was because of the abrupt removal. The agreement reached in the past have not been, it was always for there to be cushioning effect before the removal, so that it will not bite as hard as it's biting today. And that was why that neck is not an individual decision. It's not as if the committee single-handedly reached that decision. No, it was the collective, and it is because of that the pronouncement of NMPC, the publication by NMPC, which we see today as a private organization that is now determining the fuel regime of the first price regime of this period. That was our hope. But upon deliberation with other critical minds, that all these things have been agreed to be reviewed, and that is why the NLC has also agreed to see how this review will collectively carry our people along and the masses of Nigeria. So it's not bad for now. We hope it just gets better. That is the prayer.
Well, comrade, also we saw that on the news today, civil society leaders, activists, to go ahead with a mass protest. What would you have to say on this?
Yes, we pray that they also get the popular opinion, because, like I said, it's not as if it is difficult for the NLC to go on with the strike. No. But
we can barely hear you, comrade.
I said superior argument, which is in the interest of the majority of Nigerians and the Nigerian nation, especially our democratic achievements. That is why, for now, I recall that they said they will continue on the 19th of June. So let's let's allow the space to be opened so that what can also happen tomorrow would don't rush into it today and burn our feet.
Well, Nigerians are not really happy with the organized labor. They are very sad. Knowing fully well that the hike in price, the pump price, is something that is taking a toll on everybody. And some of the workers are still at home as we speak. And they felt labor, this move by the organized labor might just be their hope. And before their eyes also, they feel that their hope has been dashed to the ground. Anyway, thank you. Yes.
We should not be disappointed. The process is on, but it's just to give it time so that it would achieve a better result than to rushing into a decision that might be that might not give us the full achievement we want to achieve with it.
Okay, Mr. Chukuma. Well, we'll see. It's still a developing story. We'll see how that unfolds. We're waiting as well for the meeting. The meeting come on the 19th of June. Yeah. We can't wait to see the outcome of that meeting. We hope that something good will come out in the interest of. We hope that something good will come out of that meeting in the interest of the masses, of the common man. Well, thank you.
That is the hope and wish of our leaders too. So we are in the struggle together.
We hope so.
And victory will be for the people, as usual. Victoria Asata.
Victoria Asata, indeed. So you are now telling viewers, telling the people to show their sword, right?
Yes.
All right.
For now.
Allow
the leaders of the workers to drive the profit. They have the genuine interest of the masses, and it has never changed, and it will not change at this critical point in time.
All right. Just before we let you go, comrade, we're going to still have you back on the show. Like I said, this is a developing story, and we'll see more of that. So we'll bring you in when the need arises.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chukuma. Viewers have been on call with Comrade Chukuma. He is a trade unionist. He is a political analyst and a senior reporter here in the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you so very much, sir, for being on the show. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. Thank you, viewers, for listening.
Yes, we've been on the phone with one of the trade union, if you heard all that. The European system is in the interest of the people. We'll see how that will come on the 19th of June. But anyway, I think viewers are not buying that. And a lot of Nigerians are not buying that like a good nation. Nigerians feel that they've sold out. They are selling out and they have left Nigerians behind.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll see how that goes. We can't wait for the 19th to come because I don't think Nigerians will be able to continue with this transportation fare, the food, the hike and price, talking about food prices, talking about everything that really do feel for people, I feel for myself as well. Yes. Anyway, that would be a good place to wrap up the show this morning. But just before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. It's around the corner. All you have to do is to go to everbright.com and get your ticket if you stand to be part of that event. We have a lot of ministries, presenters, and superstars talking about the filmmakers, talking about the musicians, talking about even fashion icons, individuals as well that are partnering with us already on that event. So we're going there to London to showcase us as the people to the world, our heritage, our color, everything there is to Nigeria. talking about the food, the music, the people, and the business opportunity. Don't forget that as well. So be part of that event. Also, before we go, don't forget to hit on the notification bell, like, share, leave us with your comments as well. Please invite somebody to the page. It's a chain. Keep bringing people.
Follow us for more insights.
Yes, yes. And then also, while you are at there, stay safe, be at alert. We know that it's really biting hard when we talk about the fuel price. A lot of Nigerians I know are not even finding it funny. They are not happy as well. So please do well to be peaceful with others because you don't know what people are going through. Just aggressive. So be peaceful with yourself and with others. And also before we go, there is a special announcement here this morning. The management, staff and cadets of All Nations Institute of Marine and Technology, ANIMT Ogara, cordially invites you to the second matriculation ceremony under the distinguished chairmanship of Pastor Akpavio Godwin, Managing Director / CEO, Delta Free Trade Zones, Kwale and Koko, and we have the guest of honor, Right Honorable Ben Williams Istaba, and we have member Federal House of Representatives Abuja. We also have chief guest of honor as Honorable Chief Barrister John Nani, Chairman the Cadet. As well, we have Father of the Day, His Royal Majesty Orofe. We have His Royal Majesty Noble Esetena Esemitan FCA JP. He is the Orofe 3 of Uko Ogara, Nano Ovio of Ogara Kingdom. And we also have here the chief guest speaker as Mr. Paul Okporugwe, MD Harold Group. We also have your chief host, Honorable Chief Engineer Emmanuel Iwomena, Chairman Governing Council, ANIMT Ogara. The date for this event is 9th of June. And this year, of course, 9th of June 2023, venue is the school premises. We have Mr. Benson Mukwesa, Chairman Planning Committee. You can reach him on 0803 688 6875. Or Mrs. Philomena Onateme, Secretary Planning Committee, and you can reach her on 08065 091363. And while you are out there, stay safe and always remember that peace is priceless. So let's give peace a chance. I'm going to see you again, hopefully tomorrow on the show. Blessing. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate your time this morning as well. You will see you tomorrow, and please stay safe while you are out there. Bye.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian